Before we dive in, a quick heads up. This presentation is for informational and educational purposes only. Think of it as a guide to what's possible. You should always consult with your own IT, security, and legal teams before implementing any new enterprise-level technology in your organization. Alright, let's get real for a second. Picture this. It's 4:15 p.m. on a Friday. You're just about to close your laptop, dreaming of that weekend freedom, when a message pops up from your boss. Hey, remember that big project Nightingale we did last year? The client just asked for a summary of the final Q4 performance metrics and our key takeaways. Need it ASAP. Your heart sinks. Project Nightingale? That was a beast. The final report is probably buried in a SharePoint site you can't remember. The key performance metrics were debated endlessly in a Teams channel that's now archived. And the key takeaways, weren't those in a PowerPoint deck that 3 different people edited? The lead on that project, Sarah, left the company 6 months ago. You're now faced with the digital scavenger hunt across emails, chats, and cloud folders, and your weekend is evaporating with every fruitless click of the search bar. Sound familiar? This isn't just a bad Friday. This is the daily reality in most American companies. A study by McKinsey found that the average knowledge worker spends nearly 2 hours every single day. That's almost a full day every week, just searching for and gathering internal information. We are literally drowning in our own data. We've created this massive, disorganized digital library of our company's entire history. Its wins, its losses, its brilliant ideas. And then we promptly lost the library card. We have more information at our fingertips than any generation in history, yet we can't find the one slide we need from last quarter's review. What if I told you there's a way to fix this? Not just to organize the chaos, but to turn it into your company's single greatest asset. A way to instantly access the collective intelligence of your entire organization with a simple question. That's not science fiction. That's the promise of Copilot Enterprise. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 most amazing, truly game-changing things you can do with it that go way beyond just asking an AI to write an email for you. We're not talking about simple productivity hacks. We're talking about fundamentally rewiring how your business thinks, operates, and innovates. We're going to cover how to transform a month's worth of chaotic meetings into a single perfect strategy document, how to build custom AI assistants that know your business better than a seasoned employee, and how you can finally find that one piece of data from Project Nightingale in less time than it takes to brew a cup of coffee. So, let's start with the biggest one, the foundation for everything else. The first amazing thing you can do with Copilot Enterprise is this. You can unleash your company's collective brain. Think about where your company's knowledge actually lives. It's not in a neat, orderly database. It's scattered. It's fragmented. It's in the transcripts of 1,000 Zoom calls. It's in the casual back and forth of a Microsoft Teams channel where a brilliant idea was born and then forgotten. It's in years of Outlook emails, in OneNote notebooks, in Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, and PowerPoint presentations stored across countless SharePoint sites and OneDrive folders. This is what we call data silos. Every department, every team, every individual has their own little island of information, and building bridges between them is a manual, frustrating, and often impossible task. Standard search tools are useless here. They're like using a metal detector to find a specific grain of sand on a beach. They look for keywords, not context. They can't understand the relationship between a budget file in Excel and the team's conversation that explains why the budget was cut. This is the problem Copilot Enterprise was built to solve. It doesn't just search your data. It understands it. It connects to something called the Microsoft 365 graph, which is essentially a map of all the people, content, and activity within your organization. It then creates a semantic index over all of it. In plain English, it reads everything, securely and privately of course, and learns how it all fits together. It knows who reported to whom on Project Nightingale. It knows which PowerPoint was the final version because it saw the email where your boss said, "This is the one we're presenting." It understands the context, the history, and the connections. Let's go back to that Friday afternoon nightmare. Instead of a frantic manual search, you open Copilot. You type a simple natural language prompt. What were the final Q4 performance metrics and key takeaways for Project Nightingale from last year? Provide a summary and cite your sources. You hit enter, and you watch the magic happen. In about 30 seconds, Copilot comes back with an answer. But it's not just a list of links. It's a synthesized, coherent summary. It says, according to the Nightingale_Q4_final_report.pptx, The key performance metrics were a 15% increase in user engagement and a 10% reduction in customer churn. Click. There's a footnote, a direct link to that exact slide in that exact presentation. It continues, key takeaways discussed in the project wrap-up meeting, transcribed on December 5th, highlighted that the new user interface was a major success, but server costs were higher than projected. Click. Another footnote, linking directly to the meeting transcript. Further discussion in the Project Nightingale team channel shows that Sarah Smith suggested a new cloud vendor to mitigate future cost overruns. Click. A link to that specific message in the team's archive. Do you see what just happened? You didn't just find documents. You recovered institutional knowledge. You accessed the brain of an employee who isn't even there anymore. You collapsed hours, maybe even days of research into less than a minute. This isn't just about convenience. It's a strategic weapon. Think about onboarding a new hire. Instead of them spending 6 weeks trying to figure out who's who and where to find things, they can just ask Copilot, summarize our marketing strategy for the new product launch, and show me the key people involved. Boom. Instant context. Think about starting a new project. You can ask, what have we learned from similar projects in the past? What were the main challenges and how did we solve them? You're no longer starting from scratch. You're starting with the sum total of your company's entire experience. You're preventing the same mistakes from being made over and over again. You're eliminating corporate amnesia. This ability to query the living history of your organization, to get synthesized answers from your own collective intelligence, is the single most powerful feature, and it's the engine that drives everything else we're about to talk about. So, having the entire history of your company at your fingertips is incredible. But what if you could use that knowledge to not just look backward, but to build the future? What if you could take that collective brain and create specialized, expert AI assistants from it? Assistants designed to do specific, high-value jobs for your company. That's what we're talking about next. Creating your own army of custom AIs. And trust me, this is where the science fiction starts to feel like just another Tuesday morning. So what does that army look like? It's not a row of identical, faceless robots. It's a team of specialists. Imagine an AI that only knows your company's sales data, inside and out. Its entire world, its purpose for existing, is to help your sales team close deals faster. It doesn't get distracted by questions about the capital of Nebraska or how to bake a cake. It is a finely tuned instrument for revenue. Now imagine another AI sitting right next to it, that is a world-class expert on your company's arcane HR policies and benefits packages. And another that is a savant with your internal IT support documentation. You're not just using a generic one-size-fits-all AI. You are building a bespoke digital workforce, where each member is custom-built for a specific high-value role. This is made possible through something called Copilot Studio. And if you take away one thing from this video, let it be this: Copilot Studio is the factory where you build these custom AIs. It's the difference between buying a suit off the rack and getting one tailored by a master craftsman. The off-the-rack suit, that's the standard Copilot. It's impressive, it fits pretty well, and it gets the job done. But the tailored suit, that's your custom Copilot. It's built to your exact specifications. It knows your company's data, it understands your unique processes, and it speaks your internal language. So how do you do it? Do you need a team of PhDs in machine learning? No. That's the magic. You build these copilots using natural language. You literally talk to it. You tell it what you want it to be. You start by giving it a name and a purpose. For example, you are FinanceBot. Your purpose is to help employees file expense reports accurately and answer questions about our travel and expense policy. Then you give it knowledge. This is the crucial step called grounding. You point it to your company's internal resources. You say, FinanceBot, your brain is this SharePoint site containing the official T&E policy, these 3 PDFs with examples, and this Excel sheet with approved vendor codes. Suddenly, FinanceBot isn't just guessing based on the public internet. It's answering questions with authoritative knowledge straight from your company's single source of truth. When someone asks, "Can I expense a rental car upgrade?" it doesn't give a generic answer. It gives your company's answer. And it can even cite the specific paragraph in the policy document where it found the information. That is a game changer for accuracy and trust. But knowledge is only half the battle. You also need to give it the ability to do things. This is where you connect it to your other systems using what are called plugins and connectors. Think of these as giving your AI hands. You can give FinanceBot a plugin that connects directly to your expense reporting software, like SAP Concur or Expensify. Now, let's see what this actually looks like in practice. An employee, let's call her Sarah, is back from a business trip. Instead of dreading the expense report, she just opens a chat with FinanceBot in Microsoft Teams. She types, "Hey, I need to file my expenses for the Chicago trip last week." FinanceBot replies, "Welcome back, Sarah. I can help with that. I see a flight from Delta, a hotel stay at the Marriott, and a car rental from Hertz in your corporate card transactions. Is that correct?" Sarah confirms. FinanceBot then says, "Great. I've created a draft report. I just have a few questions. I see 3 meal charges over your daily per diem of $75. Can you provide a justification for these?" Sarah explains she had a client dinner. FinanceBot understands, adds the note to the report, and then asks, "I also see a fuel charge for the rental car. Did you remember to get a receipt?" Sarah uploads a photo of the receipt right in the chat. FinanceBot uses optical character recognition to read the receipt, verifies the amount, attaches it to the report, and says, "Got it. Your expense report is complete and has been submitted to your manager, David, for approval. The reference number is ER7-9-1. Is there anything else?" Think about what just happened. Sarah avoided a 30-minute, soul-crushing administrative task. She did it all in a 2-minute conversation. The company gets more accurate, compliant reports filed on time. The manager gets a clean, verified report to approve. Multiply that by thousands of employees, and you're not just saving time, you're fundamentally changing how work gets done. You've automated the mundane to free up your people for the meaningful. Let's take another example. The legal department. Legal teams are buried in contracts. Every single one needs to be reviewed for risk, compliance, and specific clauses. It's time-consuming and requires immense attention to detail. So you build a legal review Copilot. You ground it in your company's master service agreements, your risk tolerance framework, and a library of pre-approved legal clauses. Now, a procurement manager gets a new vendor contract. It's 40 pages of dense legalese. Instead of putting it in the legal team's backlog, where it might sit for a week, they upload it to the legal review Copilot. They ask, "Review this contract against our standard MSA. Flag any non-standard clauses related to liability, data privacy, and termination rights. Also, check if their indemnification clause is reciprocal." Seconds later, the AI comes back with a full analysis. It highlights 3 clauses in red. Warning: the liability cap in Section 8.2 is set at 2 times the contract value. Our standard is 1 time. Warning: the data privacy clause in Section 11.5 does not include specific provisions for CCPA compliance. Suggest adding our pre-approved clause 11.5b. Alert: the termination for convenience clause is one-sided. Our policy requires a mutual clause. The AI hasn't replaced the lawyer. It has become the world's fastest, most diligent paralegal. It did the grueling first-pass review in under a minute, allowing the human lawyer to focus their expertise on the strategic negotiation of those 3 flagged clauses. You've increased the speed of business, reduced risk, and made your legal team infinitely more scalable. This is the power of a custom-built army. You have a finance bot making expense reports disappear. You have a legal review Copilot spotting risks in contracts. You have an HR bot onboarding new hires perfectly every time. You have a sales bot prepping your account executives with killer intel before a big call. Each one is an expert trained on your data, integrated with your systems, working 24/7 to execute a specific part of your business. And the most profound part? This institutionalizes knowledge. When your top salesperson leaves, their unique strategies and customer insights don't just walk out the door. You can build a Copilot that learns from their meeting transcripts, their emails, their sales notes in the CRM, creating a best practices bot that can help train the next generation of salespeople. You're capturing lightning in a bottle. You're turning individual expertise into an enduring, scalable company asset. So we've built our army of specialists. They're smart, they're trained, and they're ready to work. But right now, they're mostly reactive. They wait for us to ask them a question or give them a task. What if they could be proactive? What if they could analyze the vast, messy, unstructured sea of data your company creates every single day? All the emails, all the chat messages, all the meeting transcripts, and find the hidden patterns, the missed opportunities, and the ticking time bombs you don't even know exist. What if your AI could tap you on the shoulder and tell you about a problem before it becomes a crisis? That's the next level. That's turning your data from a liability into your single greatest strategic weapon. And that's exactly what we're breaking down next. So let's build this out. Imagine you run a massive e-commerce company. You have thousands of products, a global supply chain, and a customer service team fielding calls 24/7. Your data is everywhere. It's in your Salesforce CRM, your SAP logistics software, your team's SharePoint sites, a million Outlook inboxes, and endless Microsoft Teams channels. It's a digital galaxy of information, but it's a galaxy of disconnected stars. No one has the full map. Then, on a Tuesday morning, a problem starts brewing. A key component for your best-selling product, sourced from a specific factory in Vietnam, is suddenly facing a production slowdown. But it's not a big red alert kind of slowdown. It's a subtle 8% dip. It's a number buried on page 47 of a weekly logistics report that nobody really reads. It's just noise. At the same time, over in the customer service department, there's a tiny uptick in support tickets. A few customers are emailing asking why their order, which was promised in 2 days, is now estimated to arrive in 4. It's a handful of tickets out of thousands. Again, just noise. A statistical blip. Meanwhile, in a private Teams chat, 2 of your junior logistics coordinators are talking about rumors they heard about a new customs inspection protocol at a major shipping port. It's just chatter. It's not official. It's just noise. In the old world, these 3 separate pieces of noise would stay separate. The production dip wouldn't be noticed for a week. The customer service tickets wouldn't be flagged as a trend until hundreds of them piled up. And the Teams chat? It would be lost to the digital ether forever. By the time a senior manager finally connects the dots, your best-selling product is out of stock. Your customers are furious, your brand reputation is taking a hit, and you're in full-blown crisis mode trying to fix a problem that's already a week old. You're playing defense. You're reacting. This is the fundamental, crippling problem of the modern enterprise. We have more data than ever before in human history, but it's siloed. It's locked away in different apps, different servers, different formats. Getting it to talk to each other requires armies of data scientists, expensive integration projects, and months of work. And even then, you're only getting a rearview mirror look at what's already happened. This brings us to the first and arguably the most powerful, amazing thing you can do with Copilot Enterprise. You can create a single unified intelligence layer over your entire business. Think of it as installing a central nervous system into your company. This isn't just about connecting to Microsoft 365 apps like Outlook and Teams. That's table stakes. The enterprise part of Copilot Enterprise is about its ability to reach outside the Microsoft ecosystem. Using things called Microsoft Graph Connectors, you can plug Copilot directly into the tools your business actually runs on. We're talking Salesforce, ServiceNow, Jira, Confluence, Adobe, SAP, hundreds of third-party applications. Suddenly, Copilot isn't just reading your emails. It's reading your sales data. It's reading your IT support tickets. It's reading your project management boards. It has access to the same information your employees do, but with one crucial difference. It can read all of it, all at once, in milliseconds. It's not limited by which department it's in or what security clearance it has. Sees the whole board. So let's rewind our crisis scenario and play it again, but this time with Copilot Enterprise as the company's central nervous system. On that same Tuesday morning, Copilot sees the 8% production dip in the SAP logistics data. It flags this as a minor anomaly, but it doesn't stop there. It asks a question no human would have the time to ask. Is anything else in the company related to this specific product and supplier? Instantly, it scans your customer service data in Zendesk or Salesforce. It sees the small uptick in tickets mentioning shipping delay for that exact product. The 2 data points, previously 2 pieces of isolated noise, are now correlated. The anomaly is now a pattern, but it's still not a crisis. So Copilot digs deeper. It scans every relevant Teams chat and Outlook conversation across the entire organization. And there, buried in that private chat between the 2 junior coordinators, it finds the keywords, customs, port, and the name of the shipping partner associated with that Vietnamese supplier. The pattern is now a story. And finally, it does the one thing that would be almost impossible for a human. It searches the email archives of the entire procurement team for any communication with that supplier over the last 6 months. And it finds it. A single email from 3 months ago, where the supplier contact casually mentioned they were anticipating potential labor negotiations in Q3. The story now has a root cause. So what happens next? Does it just sit on this information? No. This is the proactive part. Copilot synthesizes all of this, the production data from SAP, the customer tickets from Salesforce, the chatter from Teams, the old email from Outlook, into a single coherent intelligence briefing. A notification pops up for the head of supply chain. It's not a vague alert. It's a detailed, actionable summary that reads something like this: Proactive risk alert. We are detecting a high probability of a stockout for product #ABC123 within the next 10 days. The root cause appears to be a combination of a production slowdown at our Vietnam facility, new port customs delays, and potential supplier labor issues. We are already seeing a 15% increase in customer complaints related to this product's shipping times. Based on current sales velocity, this poses a $4 million risk to this quarter's revenue. And it gets better. It doesn't just present the problem, it starts proposing solutions. It continues, I have cross-referenced our procurement database and identified 2 alternative suppliers for this component with available capacity. I have also drafted an email to our top 100 enterprise customers who have this product on backorder, offering them a 10% discount on their next purchase for the inconvenience. Would you like me to proceed? Think about what just happened. A multi-million-dollar crisis that would have taken a week of panicked meetings, data digging, and finger-pointing to even understand was identified, diagnosed, and had a solution proposed in minutes. The company went from playing reactive defense to playing proactive offense. The human executive wasn't replaced. They were empowered. Their job shifted from being a data detective to being a strategic decision maker. They get to spend their brainpower on the judgment call, which supplier to choose, what discount to offer, not on the grunt work of finding the information in the first place. This is the power of turning your disconnected data into a corporate brain. It's about more than just finding documents faster. It's about discovering the invisible connections between disparate pieces of information. It's about generating insights that were previously impossible to see. You can apply this to anything. You could ask it, which of our marketing campaigns from last quarter generated the most sales leads that actually closed, and what were the common themes in the ad copy? Copilot could pull campaign data from Adobe, lead data from Salesforce, and the actual ad copy from a SharePoint folder to give you a definitive, data-backed answer in seconds. You could ask, show me all internal research, conversations, and project plans related to Project Titan from 2 years ago, and summarize the key reasons it was shelved. It would crawl through old Word docs, email threads, and archive Teams channels to give you a perfect summary, saving you days of digital archaeology. This is the foundation. This ability to securely ground AI in your company's own reality, your own data, your own context. It's what separates a fun-to-use public chatbot from a mission-critical enterprise intelligence engine. It transforms AI from a clever tool into a strategic partner. So we've established this God's eye view, this ability to see and understand everything happening across your business. But what if you don't want everyone to see everything? What if you need to create specialized experts? An AI that is a genius at marketing but knows nothing about finance? An AI for your legal team that is meticulously trained on your corporate contracts but can't see employee performance reviews? How do you take this massive corporate brain and create specialized, purpose-built AI agents for every single department? That's where things get really interesting. That's where we go from a single, all-knowing oracle to an entire army of AI specialists, and that's precisely what we're breaking down next. Imagine you have the world's most brilliant generalist doctor. You can ask them anything from a common cold to a complex neurological condition, and they'll give you a solid, well-researched answer based on the entire corpus of medical knowledge. That's standard Copilot. It's incredible. But if you need brain surgery, you don't want the generalist. You want the neurosurgeon, the specialist who has spent their entire career focused on one single critical domain. You want someone who knows every nuance, every edge case, every specific procedure related to that one area. This is the fundamental shift in thinking that Copilot Enterprise introduces with a tool called Copilot Studio. It's the difference between having one brilliant know-it-all and having an entire team of hyper-specialized experts, each trained for a specific mission. You're no longer just using a tool. You're building an army of digital employees who work 24/7, never forget, and are perfectly aligned with your company's unique needs. Let's make this real. Think about your marketing department. They live and breathe by a single sacred document, the brand style guide. It dictates everything: the tone of voice, the approved terminology, the specific way you describe your products, the colors to use, the mission statement to echo. It is the company's personality codified. But what happens in reality? A new junior copywriter, eager to impress, writes a blog post that's just a little off-brand. A social media manager, rushing to post about a trend, uses a phrase that the legal team would never approve. A sales rep, crafting an outreach email, describes a feature in a way that's technically correct, but completely misses the marketing-approved value proposition. These small deviations, these tiny paper cuts, slowly bleed a brand of its identity. The brand voice becomes diluted, inconsistent, and confusing. The traditional solution is endless training, constant oversight, and meticulous, time-consuming reviews. It's a game of brand voice whack-a-mole. But what if you could build a brand guardian? An AI that had not just read the style guide but had internalized it? An AI that was the brand voice. With Copilot Studio, you can do exactly that. You can create a custom Copilot, let's call it the Marketing Maverick. And building it is shockingly simple. You don't need to be a developer. You don't need to write a single line of code. You build it using plain English. You literally have a conversation with the builder, telling it what you want. You'd start by giving it a name and a purpose. You are the Marketing Maverick, the official brand guardian for our company, Acme Corporation. Your sole purpose is to help employees create content that is perfectly on brand. Then, you start giving it instructions, its prime directives. You must always write in a witty but professional tone. Never use slang, but feel free to use clever metaphors. Always refer to our flagship product, the Innovator X1, by its full name, never just the Innovator. You keep going. You can upload the entire brand style guide, the last 3 years of approved blog posts, your mission statement, your values. You are feeding this specialized AI a diet of pure, unadulterated your company. It's not learning from the whole internet anymore. It's learning from your single source of truth. It's becoming that neurosurgeon. Now deploy this Marketing Maverick to your team. The junior copywriter, instead of staring at a blank page and a 50-page style guide, simply opens their new custom Copilot and says, draft a 500-word blog post about the importance of sustainable packaging for Gen Z, in our brand voice. And what comes back is perfect. It's witty, it's professional, it correctly references the Innovator X1 and its eco-friendly materials. It echoes the company's mission statement in the conclusion. The first draft is 95% of the way there, saving hours of writing and review. The social media manager can ask, give me 5 tweet options for our new partnership announcement. Make them exciting and include the approved corporate hashtag. The sales rep can say, rewrite this email to a potential client to better reflect our brand's focus on customer success. Each interaction is a guarantee of brand consistency. You've solved the problem not with more oversight but with a better tool. You've scaled your best marketing director into an infinitely patient, always available AI assistant for everyone. And this is just one soldier in your new army. Think bigger. What about the HR department? They spend an incredible amount of time answering the same questions over and over. What's our policy on parental leave? How do I submit an expense report? What are the open enrollment dates for healthcare? Imagine creating an HR helper Copilot. You feed it the entire employee handbook, all the policy documents, all the FAQs from the internal company portal. Now, instead of an employee filing a ticket with HR and waiting 24 hours for a response, they just ask the HR helper and get an instant, accurate answer sourced directly from official company documents. This frees up your human HR professionals to focus on the truly human parts of their job: conflict resolution, career development, and building a great company culture. Think about your legal team. You can build a compliance checker Copilot. Feed it your company's data privacy policies, your communication guidelines, and NDAs. Before an employee sends a sensitive document externally, they can ask the Copilot, review this contract draft for any clauses that conflict with our standard data privacy policy. It's like having a paralegal on call for every single employee, catching potential issues before they become catastrophic problems. For your sales team, an RFP Pro Copilot, fed with every previous successful proposal and all your product security documentation, ready to answer the most obscure technical questions in a request for proposal instantly. For your IT department, a help desk hero that knows your specific software stack and security procedures, able to walk an employee through a complex password reset or VPN setup, step by step. Each department gets its own specialist. Each specialist is trained exclusively on that department's data, rules, and processes. They don't get confused. The HR bot won't try to write marketing copy, and the Marketing Maverick won't give advice on legal compliance. They are purpose-built, highly trained, and perfectly focused. This is how you move from generic AI assistants to true, integrated organizational intelligence. You're essentially creating a digital nervous system for your company, where specialized knowledge is no longer siloed in one person's head or buried in a folder on a shared drive. It's active, it's accessible, and it's always on. Now, building these custom agents with specific instructions and documents is already a massive leap forward. It's game-changing, but we've only been talking about giving these AIs a library to read from, a set of static documents like PDFs and Word files. What if you could give them more? What if you could plug them directly into the living, breathing systems that run your business? What if the Sales Copilot could not only tell you how to update the CRM, but could actually go and update it for you? What if the HR helper could not only tell you the vacation policy, but could look up your personal remaining balance and submit a time-off request on your behalf? That's the next frontier. We're not just talking about creating bots that know things. We're talking about creating bots that can do things. Connecting this army of specialists to your real-world business data and applications is how you go from an intelligent assistant to a true autonomous workforce. And that requires building a bridge between the world of AI and your company's unique digital ecosystem. So what does this bridge look like? It's not a piece of hardware or a complex line of code you have to write. It's a foundational part of the Microsoft ecosystem called Copilot Studio. Think of Copilot Studio as the ultimate workshop for customizing your AI. It's where you take the raw, incredible power of a model like GPT-4 and you teach it about your world, your business, your processes, your data. This brings us to the third amazing thing you can do with Copilot Enterprise. Unleash your private data and systems. This is the one that separates the toys from the tools. It's the feature that makes your CEO's eyes light up. Because every company on Earth, from a 5-person startup to a Fortune 500 behemoth, runs on a chaotic, beautiful, and often frustrating collection of different software systems. You have your customer data in Salesforce or Dynamics. Your project management is in Jira or Asana. Your financials are in SAP or Oracle. Your documents live in SharePoint and your chats live in Teams. These systems are islands. They are powerful, self-contained kingdoms of data, but they don't talk to each other very well. Getting a simple answer that requires information from 2 or more of these islands has, until now, required a human who has to log into Salesforce, run a report, export it to Excel, then log into Jira, find the right project, filter the tasks, and copy-paste the timelines. Then they have to manually stitch this information together, trying to make sense of it all. This isn't work. This is digital manual labor. It's slow, it's tedious, and it's where expensive mistakes happen. Copilot Enterprise through Copilot Studio demolishes these silos. It does this using 2 key tools, connectors and plugins. Think of it like this. Connectors are the universal power adapters. You know how when you travel, you need a specific adapter to plug your American device into a European wall socket? A connector does the same thing for your data. Microsoft provides over 1,000 pre-built connectors for everything you can imagine: Salesforce, ServiceNow, Workday, Adobe, and on and on. You essentially just plug Copilot into these systems, give it secure permission, and suddenly it can see and understand the data inside. Plugins are the next level. If a connector lets you read the data, a plugin lets you do something with it. It's not just a power adapter. It's a specialized tool you attach. A plugin can create a new sales lead in Salesforce, update a ticket in Jira, or schedule a meeting on behalf of a user. It's about taking action. Let's make this real. Imagine a product marketing manager named Brenda. Her team is gearing up for a major product launch, codenamed Project Titan. The old way of doing things is a week-long scramble. She spends Monday morning pulling sales forecasts from SAP. Monday afternoon is spent in Salesforce, trying to identify top customers in the beta program to get testimonials. Tuesday is a nightmare of chasing down engineers on Slack and checking Jira to see if the final bug fixes are actually on schedule. Wednesday is spent digging through SharePoint to find the approved branding and legal disclaimers. By Friday, she has a folder with 20 different files, a migraine, and she's just starting to write the actual launch announcement. Now let's see how Brenda works with Copilot Enterprise. She opens a chat window in Microsoft Teams. She's not logging into 10 different systems. She's in one place. She types a simple natural language prompt, something like, "Hey Copilot, I need to prepare for the Project Titan launch. First, pull the latest customer feedback summaries for Titan from our Salesforce beta program. Cross-reference that with the engineering burndown chart in Jira for the final Gold Master sprint to confirm we've addressed the top 3 customer concerns. Then, Find the official Project Titan brand guide and logo assets in our SharePoint marketing site. Finally, using all of this information, draft a launch announcement email to our internal sales team, highlighting the new features that directly solve the customer issues we identified, and confirm the launch date is still on track according to Jira. Let's just pause and appreciate what's being asked here. This isn't a simple web search. This is a complex, multi-system query and content generation task that would have taken Brenda half a week to do manually. But for Copilot Enterprise, this is just another Tuesday. Here's what happens in the background in seconds. The AI doesn't just see words, it understands intent. It recognizes Salesforce, Jira, and SharePoint as distinct data sources. First, the Salesforce connector securely authenticates and queries the customer relationship management system. It doesn't pull every piece of data. It intelligently finds the specific feedback related to Project Titan. Simultaneously, the Jira plugin activates. It connects to their project management system, finds the Project Titan board, locates the Gold Master Sprint, and analyzes the burn-down chart, the graph that shows work remaining versus time. You can literally see if the project is on schedule. At the same time, the SharePoint connector searches the marketing document library, identifies the correct brand guide out of potentially thousands of documents, and extracts the key messaging and logo files. Now comes the magic. Copilot's large language model takes these three separate streams of information: customer feedback from Salesforce, project status from Jira, and brand messaging from SharePoint, and synthesizes them. It's not just mashing them together. It understands the relationships between them. It sees that a customer complaint about slow loading times in Salesforce was resolved by the performance optimization task that was just marked done in Jira. Within about 30 seconds, Brenda gets her answer. It's not just a pile of data. It's a beautifully formatted draft email. The subject line reads, "Get ready. Project Titan launch confirmed. Here's what you need to know." The body of the email begins, "Team, great news. The engineering team has confirmed that Project Titan is on schedule for its launch next Monday. Based on the final Jira burn-down chart, all critical tasks are complete. More importantly, we've directly addressed the top feedback from our beta program. Our new caching engine solves the slow loading times reported by top-tier clients, and the redesigned user interface directly incorporates feedback requesting a more intuitive workflow." Attached are the official logos and brand guide from SharePoint. Let's get ready for a huge win. Brenda didn't spend a week gathering data. She spent 30 seconds asking a question and a few minutes refining a high-quality draft. Her entire role has shifted. She's no longer a data archaeologist, digging for information. She is a strategist, an editor, a leader. This is the force multiplier effect. This single interaction just saved 20 hours of low-value work and freed her up to focus on what actually matters: crafting the perfect message, enabling the sales team, and making the launch a massive success. Now, multiply that by every knowledge worker in your company. The finance team asking, "Summarize our travel and expense spending from Concur for the last quarter, compare it against the budget in our internal SQL database, and flag any department that's more than 15% over." The HR department asking, "Find me all internal candidates from our Workday HR system who have a certification in cloud architecture and have received a top performance review in the last 2 years." Then, draft a personalized outreach message inviting them to apply for the new senior cloud engineer role. The legal team asking, "Scan our entire DocuSign contract repository for all agreements containing a force majeure clause that mentions pandemic, and create a summary report." This is the end of the data silo. It's the birth of the conversational enterprise. You are giving every single employee a universal translator and a tireless research assistant that can speak the native language of every application your company uses. You're not just making individual employees more productive, you're making the entire organization more intelligent. The collective knowledge of the company, which was previously locked away in a dozen different digital vaults, is now instantly accessible and understandable through a single conversation. That is the power of unleashing your private data. It's about transforming your entire software stack from a collection of fragmented tools into a single, cohesive, intelligent organism. But what if you need more than just a bridge to your existing tools? What if you need to build entirely new intelligent agents that can perform complex, multi-step tasks on their own? That's where we go from a conversational assistant to a true digital employee. This is the fourth amazing thing you can do with Copilot Enterprise. You can build your own custom copilots. I'm not talking about just tweaking a prompt. I'm talking about creating bespoke, intelligent agents that are purpose-built to solve your company's most unique and frustrating problems. This is done through a tool called Copilot Studio, and it is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful low-code platforms on the planet. Think of it like this. If the standard Copilot is a highly skilled intern who can help with a wide range of tasks, Copilot Studio is the toolkit that lets you build a team of PhD-level experts, each a world-class specialist in one specific area of your business. Let's make this real. Imagine a company, we'll call them Innovate Corporation. Their head of operations, Sarah, has a huge problem. Every time they sign a new enterprise client, it kicks off a nightmarish manual checklist of tasks. An account manager has to go into Salesforce, pull the client details, then jump over to Jira to create a new project using a specific template. After that, they have to go into SharePoint, create a new shared folder system with the right permissions, then go into Outlook to draft a standardized welcome email with links to all those new resources. The whole process takes about 2 hours per client. It's incredibly tedious, and because it's manual, things get missed. A wrong link in the email, the wrong template in Jira. It looks unprofessional and starts the client relationship on the wrong foot. Sarah knows this process is broken, but hiring a team of developers to build a custom integration would cost tens of thousands of dollars and take 6 months. This is where Copilot Studio changes the game. Sarah, who is not a developer, decides to build her own client onboarding Copilot. The first thing she does is define its brain. Using Copilot Studio, she creates what's called a custom GPT. She gives it a name and a core instruction. You are the client onboarding specialist for Innovate Corporation. Your sole purpose is to flawlessly execute the new client onboarding process from start to finish. Then, she feeds it the knowledge it needs to be an expert. She uploads the company's standard operating procedure documents for onboarding, the exact email templates they use, and the naming conventions for projects and folders. This custom GPT now understands not just what to do, but the Innovate Corp way of doing it. But knowledge isn't enough. It needs to be able to act. This is where the magic of plugins and connectors comes in. Copilot Studio has a massive library of pre-built connectors for thousands of applications. Sarah doesn't need to know what an API is. She just logs in, and with a few clicks, she authorizes her new onboarding Copilot to access Salesforce, Jira, SharePoint, and Outlook. She's essentially giving her new digital employee a set of keys to the exact rooms it needs to work in. It can't wander off into the finance department's accounting software or the HR system. It has precisely the access it needs and nothing more. Now for the final mind-blowing piece, orchestrating the actual work. In the old world of chatbots, Sarah would have had to create a complex, rigid decision tree. If this, then that. If this other thing, then do that. It would be brittle and break easily. But with Copilot Studio, she uses something called generative actions. This is a complete paradigm shift. Instead of giving it a rigid script, Sarah gives it a goal. She simply tells the onboarding Copilot, when a deal in Salesforce is marked as closed won, I want you to initiate the standard client onboarding process. That's it. She doesn't have to specify every single step. The Copilot, using the knowledge she gave it and the tools it has access to, figures out the steps on its own. It reasons. It understands the goal. So let's watch what happens the next day. A salesperson closes a major deal and updates the status in Salesforce. Instantly, the onboarding Copilot wakes up, sees the trigger. It securely accesses Salesforce and reads the new client's name, the deal size, and the primary contact's email address. Then turns to Jira. Using the knowledge from the SOP document, it knows which project template to use for an enterprise client of that size. It creates the Jira project, titling it perfectly according to the company's naming convention. Next, it accesses SharePoint. It creates a new client folder, builds the standard subfolder structure inside it, and automatically applies the correct permissions for the internal team and the new client. Finally, it opens Outlook. It drafts the perfect welcome email, personalized with the client's name. It includes the direct link to the new Jira project and the shared SharePoint folder. And to keep a human in the loop, instead of sending it directly, it places the perfectly crafted email in the assigned account manager's draft folder for a final 1-second review before they hit send. The entire process, which used to take 2 hours of soul-crushing administrative work, now happens in less than 45 seconds. Automatically, flawlessly, every single time. Sarah didn't write a single line of code. She took her business process knowledge and translated it into an autonomous digital employee that has eliminated a massive bottleneck reduced errors to zero, and freed up her team to focus on what they were actually hired to do: build relationships with clients. This isn't just about one process. Think bigger. A Copilot that helps your HR team answer complex policy questions by drawing directly from your employee handbook. A Copilot for your finance department that can walk new employees through the expense reporting process, connecting to Concur or whatever system you use. A custom marketing Copilot that you can feed all your past campaign data and brand guidelines to, which can then generate new ad copy and social media posts that are perfectly on brand. You can build Copilots that sit inside your team's chat, on your internal websites, or even in your public-facing app. This is the profound shift Copilot Enterprise enables. It's the democratization of AI development. It takes the power to build intelligent automation out of the exclusive hands of expensive developers and gives it to the people who actually understand the business problems, the Sarahs of the world, the process experts, the department heads. You are no longer just a user of AI. You are a builder of AI. You are creating a workforce of digital employees, tailored to the unique DNA of your company, that work 24/7, never make mistakes, and amplify the capabilities of your human team beyond what was ever thought possible. This ability to create bespoke agents that understand and interact with your specific business systems is a monumental leap. But it also raises a critical question. When Sarah's onboarding Copilot was reading Salesforce data, creating Jira tickets, and accessing SharePoint folders, how did it know what her Salesforce data was? How did it navigate her company's specific SharePoint site? It wasn't just pulling from the public internet. It was operating securely within Innovate Corp's private digital estate. To do that, Copilot needs a map. It needs a way to understand the people, the content, and the context of your organization. It needs to know how everything and everyone is connected. And that requires a foundational layer of intelligence that sits beneath everything else we've talked about. This is perhaps the single most important component of the entire Microsoft ecosystem, and it's what we're going to break down next. So what is this foundational layer? What is this invisible engine that makes everything work? It's called the Microsoft Graph. And if you only remember one thing from this entire series, remember this. The graph is not just a feature. It's the central nervous system of your entire organization's digital workspace. It's the secret sauce that elevates Copilot from a clever chatbot into a true, context-aware work partner. Think about it. A standalone AI, no matter how powerful its language model, is fundamentally ignorant. It has amnesia. It doesn't know who you are, what projects you're working on, who you report to, what you talked about in your meeting this morning, or what promises you made in an email last week. It's a genius in a locked room with no windows. The Microsoft Graph is the key that unlocks that room and gives the AI a panoramic view of your entire work life. It's been in development for over a decade, quietly mapping the sprawling, chaotic universe of your company's data. It's not a database of your files. It's a database of relationships. It knows that this PowerPoint presentation is related to that Teams meeting which was attended by these 5 people, who are all part of the Project Alpha team, which has a deadline next Tuesday, a deadline that was mentioned in an email chain between you and your boss. It understands the connections between people, content, and activity. It's a living, breathing digital shadow of your organization. And when you give Copilot Enterprise access to this graph, you unlock capabilities that are simply impossible otherwise. This brings us to the first amazing thing you can do with Copilot Enterprise. You can create your company's collective brain. Imagine this scenario. You're a project manager named Alex, and you've just been assigned to take over a massive, complex project called Project Sentinel. The previous manager left the company abruptly. You're walking in cold. The old way of getting up to speed is a nightmare. It's weeks of digital archaeology. You'd spend days sifting through old email chains, trying to find the latest versions of documents in a messy SharePoint folder, pinging team members on Teams to ask them questions they've probably answered a dozen times, hoping to piece together the current state of the project. It's inefficient, it's frustrating, and you're always worried you're missing something critical. Now, imagine the Copilot Enterprise way. On your first day, you open up Microsoft Copilot and type a single prompt. I'm the new project manager for Project Sentinel. Give me a complete summary of the project, including the primary goals, the key stakeholders and their roles, a timeline of major milestones achieved so far, the most recent decisions made, and a list of all current risks and outstanding action items. You hit enter, and you wait, but you don't wait long. In about 30 seconds, Copilot returns a beautifully formatted, comprehensive brief. It's not just a list of files. It's a synthesized narrative. It tells you the project's origin story, pulling from the initial project charter in Word. It lists the stakeholders not just by name, but by their roles, and even summarizes their sentiment on the project based on an analysis of Teams chat transcripts. It shows you the timeline, pulling data directly from Microsoft Planner and Project. It details the last 3 major decisions, referencing the exact meeting recordings where those decisions were made. And it generates a risk register, identifying potential issues by analyzing email conversations where team members expressed concerns about budget or resources. You just accomplished in 30 seconds what would have taken you 2 weeks. But how? How did it know? It's the graph. Copilot sent that query to the graph, which instantly traced every connection related to Project Sentinel. It saw the documents, the chats, the emails, the calendar invites, the meeting transcripts, the planner tasks. It didn't just search for a keyword. It understood the context and the relationships between all those disparate pieces of information. It understood that an email from the finance director about the budget was a critical piece of the project's story. It built a complete picture, a collective memory, and handed it to you on a silver platter. This is your company's brain, and you now have the keys. This leads us directly to the second amazing thing you can do. You can completely supercharge every meeting you ever have. Meetings are the lifeblood of many companies, but they're also a massive source of wasted time and lost productivity. There's the pre-meeting scramble, the in-meeting chaos, and the post-meeting confusion. Copilot attacks all 3 phases. Let's start with before the meeting. You have a 3 p.m. sync with the marketing team to discuss the upcoming Q4 product launch. Normally, you'd spend 30 minutes before the call frantically searching for the latest presentation deck, trying to remember what was decided in the last meeting, and scrolling through email threads to find that one key statistic. With Copilot, your prep is 1 sentence. Prep me for my 3 p.m. meeting about the Q4 launch. Summarize recent email discussions on this topic, pull up the latest version of the campaign brief and the media plan, and list any open questions or action items from our last sync. Boom! Instantly, Copilot provides a concise briefing document. It summarizes the key points from a 50-message email chain, gives you direct links to the correct documents so you're not looking at an old version, and reminds you that Sarah still owes the team an update on the budget. You walk into that meeting fully prepared, looking like a genius. Then, during the meeting itself, Copilot becomes your real-time assistant. Someone asks, "What were the exact conversion numbers from the Q2 campaign?" Instead of everyone stopping while someone fumbles through a spreadsheet, you can just ask Copilot. Because it's integrated into Teams, it can hear your request, query the graph, find the Excel report from 3 months ago, and display the answer on screen for everyone without ever breaking the flow of conversation. It can track decisions as they're being made and even draft follow-up communications in real time. But the real magic happens after the meeting. The moment the call ends, the work usually begins. Someone has to collate the notes, try to remember who agreed to do what, and send a follow-up email that half the team won't read. It's a broken process. With Copilot Enterprise, the meeting ends, and a few minutes later, everyone on the invite receives a perfectly structured summary. It includes the key topics discussed, the main decisions reached, and a clear list of action items, automatically assigned to the correct person based on what was said during the call. It can even generate the full transcript and a video recording with chapter markers for key moments. Think of the cumulative hours saved across an entire organization. Think of the accountability. No more, "Oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to do that." It's all there, captured, summarized, and distributed automatically. This isn't just an improvement. It's a complete transformation of one of the most fundamental and often frustrating parts of corporate life. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This is incredible power. You're giving an AI access to everything: my emails, my chats, my documents. Is it secure? This is the most important question, and Microsoft has built the entire system on one foundational principle. Your data is your data. Copilot inherits and respects your company's existing security, privacy, and compliance policies. If you don't have permission to access a specific folder in SharePoint, Copilot doesn't have permission either. It doesn't use your business data to train its public models. The graph operates entirely within your organization's secure tenant. The collective brain it creates is for your company's eyes only, governed by the permission structures you already have in place. So we've seen how Copilot can tap into your company's collective brain to get you up to speed instantly, and how it can supercharge your meetings from start to finish. It's about leveraging the knowledge that already exists within your organization, but is currently locked away in thousands of separate silos. Copilot, powered by the graph, is the key that unlocks it all. But what if we could take this collective brain and turn it from a source of knowledge into an engine of creation? What if you could build your own custom assistants, tailored to your specific team, your specific workflow, without writing a single line of code? That's not science fiction, and it's where we're going next. Welcome to Copilot Studio. This is the control room, the workshop, the digital Lego set that Microsoft gives you to build your very own, custom-fit GPTs for your business. For decades, the dream of a bespoke AI assistant was reserved for companies with billion-dollar R&D budgets and entire floors of PhDs. It was a complex, code-heavy, wallet-draining endeavor. You had to provision servers, train models, hire data scientists. It was a mountain most businesses couldn't even begin to climb. Copilot Studio demolishes that mountain. It turns it into a sandbox that anyone can play in. Let's make this real. Meet Sarah. She's a marketing director at a mid-sized company. Her biggest headache? Brand consistency. Her team is brilliant, but they're also busy. They have a 200-page brand guidelines document, a masterpiece of corporate identity that absolutely no one has the time to read. So new ad copy sometimes misses the mark on tone. A social media post uses a slightly off-brand color. A sales deck uses an outdated tagline. These are small cuts, but they add up, slowly bleeding the brand's identity. Sarah feels less like a director and more like a full-time brand police officer. One morning, she logs into Copilot Studio. She decides to build a solution. She's not a developer. She can't write a line of Python to save her life. But she doesn't need to. First, she clicks Create a new Copilot. A simple prompt asks her to name it. She types, Brand Guardian. Then it asks her what she wants it to do. In plain English, she writes, Your purpose is to be the single source of truth for our company's brand identity. You will help employees create content that is perfectly on brand by answering questions and providing guidance based only on the official, approved company documents. Now for the magic. The next step is to give the Brand Guardian its brain. This is where the enterprise-grade power comes in. Sarah doesn't have to manually upload files. She simply points the Copilot to the company's SharePoint site. She gives it access to the marketing folder, which contains the infamous 200-page brand guide, the last 3 years of successful campaign archives, all the market research reports on their target audience, and the approved product messaging documents. She clicks a button. That's it. No coding. No data migration. Copilot begins to read, to understand, to connect the dots between all of that unstructured data. It's not just indexing keywords. It's learning the nuance of the brand's voice, the logic behind the messaging, the very soul of the company's identity. A few minutes later, the Brand Guardian is born. Later that day, Alex, a junior copywriter, is working on a new email campaign. He's stuck. He opens a chat window in Microsoft Teams. A window that now has a new contact, Brand Guardian. He types, What is our primary call to action for the new Odyssey product launch? A decade ago, this question would have started a chain reaction of wasted time. Alex would message Sarah. Sarah might be in a meeting. He might ask a colleague, who gives him a slightly outdated answer. He might try to search the shared drive, wrestling with a search engine that returns 1,000 irrelevant documents. The whole process could take an hour. But now, less than 2 seconds after he hits enter, the Brand Guardian replies, The primary call to action for the Odyssey launch is discover your journey. The secondary CTA is learn more. Remember to use the aspirational yet accessible tone. Avoid phrases like by now in initial outreach. The answer is instant, accurate, and provides helpful context. It's not just a fact finder, it's a mentor. Alex is impressed. He decides to push it further. He writes a new prompt. I'm writing a Facebook ad targeting 25 to 35-year-old urban professionals for the Odyssey launch. Give me 3 headline options that align with our brand voice and reference our core value of empowering curiosity. This is a far more complex request. It requires the AI to synthesize multiple pieces of information: the product, the target demographic from the market research files, the specific brand voice from the style guide, and the core company values. The Brand Guardian doesn't just spit out generic copy. It responds with 3 distinct, perfectly tuned options. 1. Your city has a million stories. It's time to start writing yours. Discover the Odyssey. 2. For the curious minds who build the future, the Odyssey is here to power your next big idea. 3. Stop scrolling, start exploring. Your next adventure is waiting. The Odyssey by company name. Alex's jaw drops. In 30 seconds he has better, more on-brand options than he might have come up with in an hour of brainstorming. He's not being replaced. He's being amplified. The tedious work of research and recall is handled for him, freeing his creative energy to focus on refining the message and crafting the perfect campaign. But this is where it transcends a simple chatbot and becomes a true co-pilot. Sarah, using the studio, integrates the Brand Guardian directly into Microsoft Word and Teams for the whole marketing department. The next day, as Alex is typing up a new blog post, he writes the sentence, "This revolutionary new product is a game changer for our customers." Instantly, a small, non-intrusive underline appears. He hovers over it. A note from the Brand Guardian pops up. Brand Guideline 4.2.1. Avoid corporate jargon. Revolutionary and game changer are on the forbidden words list. Consider alternatives like transformative, pioneering, or a new approach to. The AI is now a proactive partner, gently steering him back on course in real time, ensuring consistency before a mistake is even finalized. Sarah is no longer the brand police. She's the architect of a system that empowers her team to be their own best brand guardians. Now, multiply this concept across the entire organization. Imagine an HR department building an onboarding co-pilot. They point it to the employee handbook, benefits documentation, and IT policies. Now a new hire can just ask, "How do I set up my 401k?" Or "What's the company policy on remote work?" and get an instant, accurate answer, freeing up HR to focus on the human side of their work. Imagine a sales team with a deal desk co-pilot. It's been fed every case study, every technical spec sheet, and all the competitive intelligence reports. A salesperson is on a live call with a potential client who asks a tough, specific question about a competitor. The salesperson discreetly types into Teams, "Give me 3 key differentiators against product Z for a client in the financial services sector." Instantly, they have the perfect talking points, grounded in approved company data. This is the profound shift. Copilot Enterprise through the studio allows you to weaponize your own information. It takes the collective knowledge that's currently trapped in static documents, in siloed servers, in the brains of your most senior employees, and transforms it into an active, intelligent, and accessible resource for everyone. You're not just using a large language model. You are building an army of specialist AIs, each one an expert in a specific domain of your business, all working in concert. You're creating a fabric of intelligence that permeates the entire organization. The question then becomes, once you've built this army of custom co-pilots, how do you orchestrate them? How do you take this incredible power and not just use it in chats and documents, but integrate it into the very core of your business processes? How do you automate the mundane, connect the disconnected, and create workflows that are truly intelligent from end to end? That's the final piece of the puzzle, and it's the most powerful of all. The answer lies in a tool that turns every business expert into an AI builder. It's called Copilot Studio, and this brings us to the fifth and arguably the most transformative thing you can do with Copilot Enterprise. You can build your own custom copilots. This isn't about just tweaking the prompt or adding a document. This is about creating entirely new, purpose-built AI assistants that are woven directly into the fabric of your company's unique operations. It's about taking all that incredible power we've discussed, the reasoning, the data analysis, the content creation, and focusing it like a laser on solving your most specific, most frustrating, and most costly business challenges. Let's make this real. Imagine a mid-sized manufacturing company. We'll call them Innovate Dynamics. They build complex, custom components for the aerospace industry. Their biggest bottleneck? The quoting process for new custom parts. It's a nightmare. Here's how it works now. A salesperson, let's call her Sarah, gets a request from a major client. The client needs a new type of hydraulic valve with very specific performance requirements. Sarah's heart sinks. She knows what's coming. First, she has to fill out a complex internal request form, which then goes to the engineering department. An engineer, maybe Mark, has to stop what he's doing, dig through old project files on a shared drive to see if they've ever made anything similar. He has to check CAD libraries, material spec sheets, we're talking dozens of disconnected files. Once he has a rough idea, he needs to ping the supply chain team to check on the availability and current cost of exotic alloys and specialized seals. That's another email chain, another delay. After a few days of back and forth, Mark sends a technical summary back to Sarah. Now, Sarah has to take that technical jargon, combine it with pricing data from a separate system, factor in a margin, and finally build the quote. The whole process, best case scenario, takes 4 days. Worst case, a week and a half. In that time, their more agile competitor might have already won the deal. Innovate Dynamics is losing business not because their products are bad, but because their processes are slow. This is the kind of problem that traditional software struggles to solve. It's a human problem, a communication problem, a workflow problem that spans multiple departments and multiple systems. This is where you build a Copilot. Using Copilot Studio, Innovate Dynamics doesn't hire a team of AI developers. They empower someone who actually understands the problem. Someone like Sarah or Mark. Copilot Studio is essentially a conversational canvas. You start by telling it what you want to build in plain English. Sarah could start by typing, create a Copilot for generating custom aerospace part quotes. The first step is giving it knowledge. This is where the graph grounding we talked about earlier gets supercharged. They don't just point it at their public website. They connect it directly and securely to the specific internal systems that matter. They give it access to the SharePoint site with all the engineering project files. They connect it to their Dynamics 365 CRM to understand client history and past orders. They plug it into their SAP system to get real-time inventory and material costs. Now, the Copilot has the same knowledge as the company's most experienced employees. It can instantly cross-reference a new request against every project they've ever done. It knows which materials are in stock and which have a 6-week lead time. But information is only half the battle. The real magic is teaching it what to do with that information. This is where you define topics and create actions. Inside Copilot Studio, Sarah can map out the conversation. She can define a new quote request topic. She can teach the Copilot what questions to ask. What are the required pressure tolerances? What are the operating temperature ranges? What is the target unit cost? Then comes the game changer, connecting it to Power Automate. Power Automate is Microsoft's low-code engine for creating workflows. It's like digital Lego bricks for your business processes. And within Copilot Studio, you can give your custom Copilot the ability to snap these bricks together and take action. So when the Copilot has gathered the initial requirements from a salesperson, it doesn't just display information. It triggers a Power Automate flow. That flow could, in a matter of seconds, perform the exact multi-day process that used to cripple their team. Action 1. Search the engineering SharePoint library for documents matching the keywords hydraulic valve and the specified pressure tolerance. Action 2. From the top 3 matches, extract the bill of materials. Action 3. Take that bill of materials and query the SAP system for the real-time cost and availability of each component. Action 4. Consolidate this data, the closest historical design, the material costs, the lead times, into a structured summary. Action 5. Create a draft quote record in a new Copilot quotes section of the CRM. Assign it to the lead engineer, Mark, for a final review, and send him a high-priority notification in Microsoft Teams. Let's rewind and look at what just happened. The new process at Innovate Dynamics looks like this. Sarah, the salesperson, is in a Teams chat with her client. The client mentions the new valve. Right there, inside Teams, Sarah opens up their custom Innovate Quoting Copilot. She types, "My client, a SAMI Aerospace, needs a quote for a new hydraulic valve. Tolerances are X, temperature range is Y. They need 500 units." The Copilot engages in a quick conversation, maybe asking 1 or 2 clarifying questions it learned were important. Then it says, "Understood. I'm analyzing our past projects and checking current supply chain data." 1 moment. 30 seconds later it responds, "We have a 92% design match from a previous project, Project Phoenix. Based on current material costs for titanium and ceramic seals, the estimated unit cost is $482. The estimated lead time is 4 weeks. I've created a draft quote, number 75B, in the CRM and notified Mark in engineering to validate the design. Would you like me to generate a preliminary spec sheet for the client based on the Project Phoenix design?" Sarah just did in 2 minutes what used to take her and 3 other people the better part of a week. She can give her client a confident, data-backed estimate right there on the call. The chance of winning that deal just went from 50-50 to 90-10. Mark, the engineer, is no longer a glorified file clerk. He gets a notification with a perfectly structured summary of everything he needs. His job is now focused on the high-value task, validating the design and suggesting improvements, not hunting for information. The entire company just became faster, smarter, and more competitive. And this is just one example. Think about it. You could build a custom Copilot for your HR department that guides new hires through their entire onboarding process, from setting up their benefits to provisioning their software licenses, answering their specific questions along the way. You could build a custom Copilot for your finance team that ingests expense reports, checks them against company policy, and automatically approves or flags them for review, dramatically reducing the time it takes to reimburse employees. You could build a Copilot for your field service technicians. They could be on site, looking at a malfunctioning piece of equipment, and use their phone to talk to the Copilot. I'm looking at a Series 4 pump, serial number 8675. The pressure is fluctuating. Show me the repair manual, any recent service bulletins, and the last 3 maintenance logs for this specific unit. This is the ultimate promise of Copilot Enterprise. It's not just about giving your employees a smarter assistant. It's about giving them the tools to build their own army of specialized digital teammates. It fundamentally changes the equation of digital transformation. You are no longer waiting for IT to build a solution. You are empowering the people who live the problems every single day to design the AI that solves them. You're creating a company where technology doesn't just support the business process. It becomes an active, intelligent participant in it. Every workflow, every decision, every customer interaction can be augmented with a purpose-built AI designed for that exact moment. This isn't just automation, it's orchestration. It's the creation of a truly intelligent enterprise. And this brings us to the fifth and perhaps the most profound thing you can do with Copilot Enterprise. It's the culmination of everything we've discussed. It's not just about accessing data, or personalizing experiences, or even automating complex workflows. The fifth amazing thing you can do is build a learning organization. I don't mean that in the traditional business school sense of encouraging employees to take courses. I mean building an organization that, as a single entity, gets smarter with every action it takes. An organization that has a memory, an organization that learns from its successes and its failures automatically, and encodes that learning into its very digital fabric. Let me explain. Think about the traditional flow of knowledge in a company. A senior salesperson, let's call her Sarah, has 20 years of experience. She just knows how to handle a difficult client. She has a gut feeling for when to push and when to back off. She remembers a similar deal from a decade ago and knows the one phrase that will unlock the negotiation. That knowledge is invaluable. But where does it live? It lives inside Sarah's head. If she leaves the company, that knowledge walks out the door with her. The organization suffers from a form of corporate amnesia. New hires have to relearn the same hard lessons over and over again. Now, let's reimagine this scenario with Copilot Enterprise. Sarah's preparing for a call with that difficult client. She asks her custom sales Copilot, summarize our entire history with this client, highlighting every past objection they've raised and cross-referencing it with deals we successfully closed with similar profile clients in the last 2 years. Copilot instantly synthesizes decades of data from CRM records, emails, and meeting transcripts. It doesn't just give her a list, it identifies a pattern. It says, this client consistently objects to long-term contracts, but in 3 similar deals, we succeeded by offering a flexible 90-day opt-out clause in the first year. The exact phrasing that worked best was. Sarah uses this insight. She tailors her pitch, uses the recommended phrasing, and closes the deal. Now here is the magic. That entire interaction, the prompt she used, the data Copilot surfaced, the specific solution she implemented, and the successful outcome recorded in the CRM, becomes a new data point. This success is anonymized and fed back into the system's knowledge graph. It's not just stored, it's integrated. The model learns. The next time a junior salesperson faces a similar objection, they don't need to find Sarah and hope she's available. They can ask their Copilot, and it will now have an even stronger, more data-proven recommendation, because it learned from Sarah's success. This is a virtuous cycle. It's an organizational feedback loop powered by AI. Human expertise guides the AI. The AI augments the next human's actions. The outcome of those actions refines the AI. The company as a whole gets smarter. Every single day, every single interaction. This applies everywhere. Imagine a manufacturing floor. A machine goes down. An experienced technician uses a custom Copilot, fed with real-time sensor data and historical maintenance logs, to diagnose the problem. The Copilot suggests a novel fix based on a correlation it found between ambient temperature and a specific part's vibration frequency, something a human might never spot. The technician applies the fix and it works. That solution, that unique diagnostic and repair process, is now part of the institutional knowledge base. The next time those sensor readings appear on any similar machine, anywhere in the world, Copilot can proactively flag the issue and suggest the proven solution before the machine fails, preventing costly downtime. The organization learned from one event and applied that wisdom globally, instantly. This is how you solve the problem of corporate amnesia. You create a living, breathing repository of your organization's collective intelligence. It's a system that doesn't just remember what's in a document, it remembers what worked. It understands the subtle patterns of success hidden within your own operations. The wisdom of your best people is no longer confined to their own heads. It's scaled across the entire enterprise, available to everyone, on demand. And what this fundamentally does is change the nature of work itself. The burden of routine, of remembering every little detail, is lifted. Humans are freed to operate at a higher level of abstraction. Your job is no longer just to do the task. Your job is to improve the system that does the task. You become a curator of the AI, a teacher, a strategist. Your value shifts from rote execution to creative problem-solving, critical thinking, and asking the right questions. You are no longer just a user of the tool. You are its partner in a continuous process of improvement. This democratizes innovation. The business analyst in finance with a brilliant idea for a new risk assessment model no longer needs to wait 6 months for an overburdened IT department. Using Copilot Studio, they can describe their model in natural language, connect it to the relevant data sources, and build a functioning AI-powered workflow in an afternoon. The marketing intern can create a Copilot that analyzes social media sentiment in real time and drafts personalized responses, a tool that would have previously required a team of data scientists. Copilot Enterprise lowers the barrier to creation, allowing the people with the deepest domain expertise, the ones who are closest to the problems, to build their own solutions. This unleashes a torrent of grassroots innovation that was simply impossible before. So let's bring it all together. We started with the foundation, unleashing the power of your own data, turning your messy, siloed information into a coherent source of truth. Then we moved to the experience, creating hyper-personalized AI for every role and function, giving every employee a bespoke assistant that understands the unique context of their job. From there, we saw the impact on efficiency, automating the impossible, tackling those complex, multi-step processes that have always been too nuanced for traditional automation. We then scaled up to the system level, orchestrating intelligent workflows across the entire enterprise, creating a cohesive, AI-augmented operating system for your business where every component works in concert. And finally, we've arrived at the ultimate goal, building the learning organization, an enterprise that doesn't just execute but evolves. A business that captures the wisdom of its people, learns from every outcome, and gets exponentially smarter over time. This is the promise of Copilot Enterprise. It's not about a single feature or a cool chatbot. It's a fundamental shift in how businesses operate, how knowledge is managed, and how value is created. It's about building a true partnership between human ingenuity and artificial intelligence, where each makes the other better. The question is no longer if this change is coming, but how quickly you can adapt to it. The tools are here. The capability is real. We are at the very beginning of a new era of work, an era where your company's greatest competitive advantage won't be its products, its capital, or its market share. It will be its ability to learn. It will be the speed and scale at which you can augment the intelligence of your people. That is the future of business, and it's a future that is being built right now with tools like these.